Hello, this is your host and podcast editor, Jeramiah Giehl, and welcome to episode 52 of the Something Newsy Podcast. With me today are Jonny, Carlos, and Alfonso. Today we'll be discussing the current states of sports for the 2024 fall semester here at San Diego Mesa Community College. So let's get into it. How are the teams doing so far this semester compared to other collegiate schools? Let's begin with a rundown of each sport and the current school rankings. To lead it off today is Alfonso. So how are we doing on football here at Mesa College?
So the last game against Southwestern, we walked away with a W, 48-7, and we were led by the QB Jax Leatherwood. He had 247 yards and 4 touchdowns. The team, as overall, they are ranked 7-1, 4-1 in the conference. They're second in nationals, trailing Riverside. That's 5-0. As a team, they are averaging 363 yards and 33 points, and they have allowed 214 yards and 12.
All right, thank you for the rundown on football. So, Jonny, what's the state of men's soccer this semester?
Men's soccer currently has a 6-9-2 overall record. They are 4-5-2 in the conference. They started out 2-1-1 in the conference, and then they kind of faced a rough stretch where they faced Miracosta, San Diego City, and Cuyamaca. They're both the three teams ahead of the Olympians, and they lost all three of those games. That kind of hurt them in the conference. Let's see. Their next game's against San Diego City. They'll play at 3 p.m. on Friday, November 8th. This season, Eric Rochin leads with 6 goals for the team. There's 3 players tied with 2 assists for that team lead. They've scored 15 goals in their 16 games. In the conference, they average a goal per game with 7 assists.
All right, yeah, Jonny, thanks for the rundown on men's soccer. Carlos, what's the state of cross country right now?
So, not too long ago, the PCAC championships occurred. It was held at Victor Valley College, and the Olympian men's team clinched another title with a team score of 23, and they were then followed by San Bernardo Valley College at 53, and the women's team did good as well. They were 8th in the running, with the final team tally being San Diego Mesa College 18, San Bernardo Valley College 63, and Chaffey College 92. So both teams did exceptionally well in the championship, with the men's clinching the title, and they are resting and preparing for trying to make it to the state title.
All right, so the next sport we're going to talk about is women's soccer. What's the current state of women's soccer here at the school, Jonny?
Women's soccer is doing pretty well right now. They have a 11-8 overall record, but 10-4 in the conference. They kind of rough non-conference schedule. They went 1-4, but since then they've dominated the conference for the most part.
Really dominated.
They're tied for 3rd in the Pacific Coast Conference at the moment, tied with San Diego Miramar. They've gone on really good stretches this season. They had between September and October, they had 5 straight wins where they shut out every team, 32-0 run during that 5-game stretch, and then they had another 4-game stretch where they had a 27-0 run, shut out 4 straight teams in October, including a 13-0 including a 13-0 win over Imperial Valley, which I was there covering that game, and one of the stars most recently with goals in each of her last 5 matches, Paradise Wong is now lead the team with 15 goals. She only had 4 goals before going on this stretch and trailed. Stella Elizabeth Murphy leads the team with 9 assists. Madeline Grace Mayo has 3 game-winning goals this season. And you have a group of 6 players that have appeared in all 19 matches so far.
All right, thank you for that rundown, Jonny. So, Alfonso, what's the current state of women's volleyball right now?
So, with women's volleyball, the last game was at Miracosta, resulting in the W. They won 3-0. They were led by Juliana Lopez with 15 points, and she had 13 digs as well. The team as overall, they're 20-1, 13-0 in the conference. They on an 11-game winning streak. They're 7-0 at home, 12-1 away. The team is averaging 11 kills per set and 15 digs per set. And also, I want to give a little shout out to Halen Kiefer. She was the state player of the week. Kiefer, she's a sophomore hitter from El Dorado High School. She transferred to Mesa after playing as a freshman at San Jose State University. She's helped the team win state at number one. Started with a 6-hole start. She landed 30 kills and added 19 digs in the win over Santa Monica and the Canyons.
So yeah, let's get into the last, because we kind of went down all the sports currently now. So what were any standout players or games this season? Any high-scoring games, shutouts, any key moments this season?
Yeah, I want to start. We briefly mentioned it. Jonny was the one that actually attended the game. The women's soccer, it was forward Paradise Wong. I mean, the team that game scored 13, but C scored 5. C is just super athletic, really fast, and can create offense at any given time. C is just a phenomenal player, and it's outstanding to see that our team was able to go 13-0 against Imperial Valley on October 18th, because that is the biggest, most scored individual goals. Wong's 5 were the most individual goals in a single regular season or playoff game in Mesa College since 2015 when it started being recorded.
The biggest game for me that I've seen is the Mesa's 40-14 win over Grossmont College. That was the what was that? It was the homecoming game, I think. Yeah. And they only allowed 57 total yards. The defense only allowed 57 total yards all game. And I think that was probably the biggest game of the season for any team. And Alfonso, you were there for that.
Yeah, it was a very defensive game. Mesa shut them out completely. They had a really big turnover at the beginning of the game, but I believe the coach rang them up, got them all under control, kept them composed, and they were able to pull away with a big W to bring it home for the homecoming team.
Yeah, it was a big scoring difference, so they never really gave the opposition an opportunity to really come back. So definitely a confident win, and I know it was definitely good for the team chemistry and then their overall confidence, which is why they have done phenomenal overall in this season.
Fantastic. All right. Well, that's a good rundown of the Mesa sports. Let's get into San Diego, the colleges around here. Aztecs, Toreros, Titans.
It's the Aztecs, Toreros, and Titans. USD men's soccer, they're on the best run I think they've ever seen. They're currently ranked number 4 in the nation. They've won 6 straight in the conference. They just had some couple of really big wins in the last couple of weeks, including one at home, where they set some sort of attendance record, I think, there. And then SDSU men's basketball that just started up. They have some other fall sports, but they're not that good. Men's basketball, they're kind of snubbed of a preseason national ranking. They received just one top 25 vote, and so they're after a Sweet 16 run that they lost to the eventual champion, UConn. So big season for them coming up with a lot of new players.
Swing, bada, swing, swing. All right, so let's get into baseball. Let's talk about our major national team here, the Padres, and how the season went. And what about them Dodgers and Yankees?
Yeah, so as we already know, the Dodgers are the World Series champions. They unfortunately beat us in the playoffs. Yeah, forget them, right? So going back to the Padres, as you know, at the beginning of the season, we were 50-49, which is not good. But after the All-Star break, we went on a tear and went 93-69 to end the season. And the only other Padres regular season that was better than that was in 1998 when they won 98 games. So they were actually pretty close, only down 5 games to tie their original best performing regular season. And going into the playoffs, we did have a vote of confidence, especially with our mid-season trade, getting Michael Keane and a few other key role players on the team. I mean, it's definitely a blow losing Juan Soto, and he played phenomenally well for the Yankees. He did pretty good. I mean, he did not let the team go. He did not let the team down. If anything, I'd say the team let him down. So maybe a controversial take, but I am always going to be a fan of Juan Soto, so it's all right.
Yeah, their 93 wins was second to only 1998, where they went to the World Series, lost to the Yankees there. We were so close to a 1998 rematch this season. But yeah, the Padres-Dodgers in the NLDS, that was pretty much that decided the World Series. The Dodgers just blew right through the Mets and Yankees right after.
And honestly, we had one of the best teams, I'd say, in the league. And the only issue was we were doing phenomenally well against the Dodgers, too, at the very beginning. But everyone just kind of got tired. We had to rest some of our pitchers, including Michael King, which definitely did take a blow because the Dodgers were able to start generating offense, especially with that backup pitcher that could only do sinkers. So, unfortunately, that was just too predictable, and we just can't have that. So, maybe next season.
And let's not mention Joe Musgrove. He got hurt in the wild card series. He would have been huge in the NLDS in Game 4 or Game 5 because they lost those two. Although they couldn't score anyway, so maybe it didn't matter anyways because they couldn't score.
I mean, you already know what you're going to get from Manny Machado and Fernando Tatis Jr. They were phenomenal, and I feel bad. They're still playing at such an elite level. We just couldn't seize our opportunity.
What about them Bulls and the Bears? Nah. So how about the L.A. Chargers, formerly of San Diego? How did they do this last?
They did pretty well. They went they got a victory against the Cleveland Browns. They were 27-10. The Chargers were just really good this past weekend. They generated 342 total yards, 246 passing with 96 rushing, and they were able to get 6.1 yards per play. They had overall less first downs with 13 compared to 21, and their third down efficiency, unfortunately, was not that great with only 5 of 14 third down conversions. But overall, the team somehow was able to secure a win. I mean, Justin Herbert, you always know what you're going to get from him. As long as he's not hurt, he is such a good player. And the Cleveland Browns right now, especially without Deshaun Watson with his injury and their backup quarterback not being an elite level quarterback, you wouldn't expect him to be able to carry him against the Bolts. Overall, the Chargers are currently 5-3, and in the rankings of the AFL, they're doing all right. They're middle of the pack, unfortunately, but they are in the AFC West. They're pretty close with the Chiefs. They're the second team runner-up, so they could be looking forward to a wild card potentially if they can stay consistent throughout the rest of this season.
Yeah, but the Chargers never make it to the playoffs. Well, they make it to the playoffs, but they don't. They haven't clinched it in like how many years though? Yeah, Mesa College. Let's get back to Mesa College. It's like, what's a rundown, your kind of overview of how Mesa sports is going, and like, what do you feel about this season? How we doing?
I mean, as a Mesa student, I am pretty happy to see how we did this year. Obviously, we have basketball and more things to come with the winter, but as for the spring and summer leagues, we did phenomenal in football. We did pretty good in water polo. Soccer, we were pretty strong, and I'm glad to see that overall our athletes are pretty good players, and we've been able to win on a consistent basis with a few games being complete blowouts. We just have.
That's what's up.
I would say women's volleyball probably has the best chance of like going to the state and like winning a championship. Maybe cross country does too.
They are the defending champs.
But volleyball has done incredibly well this season, and they've won every set, almost every set all season. Mm-hmm. Most of their wins are 3-0, and they're looking dominant in the conference.
They really know how to play. They're just really athletic, and they have good team chemistry. So even when one individual may not be able to make it to that play, they always call out. They always stick to the fundamentals, and at the end of the day, that's what really wins you games is fundamentals.
There you go.
Like I said, Halen Kafer, she's just dominant. She's a good defender, good offensive player. Like, I feel like she could really lead this team to another state championship. As far as like football, Jax Leatherwood, he's pretty dominant. He's a 6'7" monster. You know what I'm saying? He's very, very good passer. Our defense has been stout, pretty much holding teams to single-digit scores. If we can keep that up, we could possibly win state with the football team as well.
All right. Well, that's fantastic. All right. Well, that's a rundown of Mesa Sports here. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Something Newsy Podcast. I'm Jeremiah, and I want to thank Jonny, Carlos, and Alfonso for opining today. And we hope to hear you on the see you on the next episode. Hear you on the next episode. Yeah, something like that. Any last words from you guys?
Go Mesa. Let's go Olympians.
Go Mesa.